Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Brittany coming to you live from the Seniors Blue Book. And today we have a very special segment for you. We are here at Assisting Hands Home Care, and we are actually going to sit down with Alexis. And we're going to learn more about what they do every day with their clients serving our community. So I'm going to take a look around, see if I can find her. You guys also pay attention, see if she comes out from anywhere, okay? Oh, there she is. Hey, Alexis. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Or is this Alexis?
Is she?
You know,
Yeah, she's Shira.
Shira. You know, I don't usually see you in this kind of costume, but I would expect nothing less.
Usually I don't dress like this all the time. Normally I'm around the town in my jersey, assisting hand jerseys.
Well, take a seat. Let's come in here together and talk about what you do every day. And let's see, I'll slide by this way over here. So I told everybody this is a very special episode, as we are, of course, dressed for the occasion.
We are.
As everybody knows, Halloween is right around the corner.
That's right.
I've been going to our marketing meetings and kind of asking people, you know, what's been your favorite costume? Like, even if going back to child, this is a little hard to say. You know, asking people, what's your favorite, like, Halloween memory or costume? So this is probably top notch, but is there another one that you could think back to?
There was one time when I lived in San Luis Obispo, California, and Happy Feet the penguin came out. So I was basically walking around as a Happy Feet the penguin. And I would have to kneel down when I took picture with everybody else. I was this, you know, and by the end of the night, my knees were shot from all the kneeling I have to do.
I bet.
It was a lot of fun.
I'm trying to take you serious right now, and I'm definitely, we're probably in the same boat. As you can see, I'm a full cup of coffee because that's literally my favorite, besides my pups, that's my favorite thing out there. This is my real addiction. So a full-size coffee cup seemed fitting.
Not a bad addiction.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So we are definitely here today to learn about you and your business, your background, all those good things. But I do have to tell you that somebody did steal my coffee cup from work today.
Uh-oh.
So after this, I'm headed down to the police station to check out some mug shots.
Did
anybody catch that?
Good one.
Sometimes I like jump in it too soon, and I'm like waiting for the reaction. So anyway,
that was a good one.
Tell us your background and kind of the why and the how you got into home care.
Sure. Well, first of all, the reason why I dress as Shira today is because this is really in honor of our caregivers who are out there working with clients day in and day out. It's not always an easy job. Sometimes it's a thankless job.
Definitely can be.
And then also 64% of our caregivers get some form of abuse from the clients or the family. So we feel grateful and honor. And Shira, I don't know if the story behind Shira. Shira was the warrior, and with the sword, gave her the power as the princess of power to cause rebellion against evil. So,
I love that.
So I want to recognize our caregivers who are out there in the field every day, day in, day out, and sometimes 24/7 as well. So I want to say that. So on that note, how I got into this business was my background is healthcare. Over 30 years, I have seen over case management, utilization management, nurses, doctors team before in a healthcare insurance setting. And then about 6 years ago, I got a calling. And it was senior care, and that's how I started. I received a lot of different offers to be elsewhere, and I felt that it's also time to come home, which is the Tampa Bay area with my family. Everybody lives around this area, and I just love it. I love working with the elders. I highly respect them just based on my background and upbringing, and I want to make sure that they are safe and age in place as they get older.
Absolutely, being an advocate for as many people as we possibly can.
Absolutely, yeah.
And sometimes
it's not enough. Sometimes it's not enough.
I was just going to say that, you do your best to help everybody you can, and no matter what their situation is, you try to adapt those services or recommend services to people just to help them in some possible way.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. And then this is part of the reason why I'm really getting into more the public policy part of it, the advocacy part. So my role and responsibility have changed. We've been in business for almost 6 years. We cover Hillsborough, Manatee, all the counties, Sarasota County as well. So with the healthcare background and being a consultant myself before my former life, I run the business very efficient and effective. That way, our focus is really the safety of our clients.
Absolutely. Well, that goes hand in hand with saying it's a calling. I think most of us that work in healthcare, that I don't know where the voices come from that tell you, or it's like your soul that is just meant for this industry, but you're definitely one of those leaders in our amongst our healthcare professionals. So thank you.
And glad to be here.
Costume. So what services does Assisting Hands provide to clients?
Well, we elect to go on the long-term care side. So the non-medical side, we offer personal care, light homemaking. So personal care like personal hygiene, dressing, bathing. The light homemaking part includes light homemaking like dusting, meals preparation. That's important because sometimes elders have such a difficult time standing for a prolonged period of time, and sometimes meals do require that. And nutritions, really focus on nutrition if they're diabetics. If they have other chronic diseases, we try to keep it low sodium, this kind of thing. So our caregivers go in and prepare meals, etc. Transportation. A lot of seniors now they like their pets, the cats and the dogs. I have a dog myself, so I love having my fur baby around. And the pets provide them with companionship. So we take care of the pets as well. We walk them if needed to. A lot of time we try to encourage our elders to participate and even like laundry, clothes folding, etc. So, and then the other thing that's important is respite care. So we give the family caregiver a break. So we go in and so allow them to go do whatever they need to do.
And they need that. There's a statistic about caregiver burnout and just how health events happen to those people prior to the person they're caring for. So it's so important to take care or to take advantage of those respite services that you offer.
Yes.
Is that something that's like a couple hours, or is it where somebody can stay for a weekend, or how?
It ranges. It's 24/7 for us, so whatever their needs are. Some folks need 24-hour care. Other needs maybe 2 hours of assistance, if you will. The other thing is statistically, on average, their family member lives 228 miles away from where they are. So most of the seniors we're finding that a lot actually in the Tampa Bay area, that most of the seniors that we take care of, and we have taken care of thousands of them, that they do live alone, and they want to live in their home. So, and their children work, their spouse is about the same age that they have challenges, themselves. They need to go see doctors, etc. So it's more and more difficult for families to depend on working children or spouse who are going through similar, challenges around their illness and disease. So,
exactly. I think they're called like the adult children of this generation that we are serving is like that sandwich generation where they've got kids of their own and maybe grandkids and they're all helping and they're still working full time. So it's so important to involve them in the whole process as well. That's
right. And we're hoping, in being in the healthcare industry for a long time, I always think there's value in engaging employers, insurance company, and provider to take care of anyone who have an illness.
Definitely.
Right? So it's not just, we talked about only insurance company and the members or or the recipients or the patient, but also the employer. We need to start bringing employers in place. So when you're talking about the sandwich generation, these are adults who need to go to work, right? The adult children who need to go to work. How do we bring their employers into the fold as well? So that way there's no absenteeism, right? But at the same time, their parents are taken care of.
Exactly, because if they have to travel, like you said, 228 miles is the average, they have to be able to cover work time, and they have to be able to figure that out. So it's excellent being able to look at the big picture as a business owner. So, so there are, there's definitely in our area some great resources. There are a lot of home care services. So when somebody's watching this, why choose Assisting Hands? What are some of the unique features of what we do here with you that would make somebody pick you?
So, the one thing is that we learned that when it comes to long-term care, when a daughter or son called us, they need that service to start yesterday. So it's usually a crisis mode. And crisis mode meaning it's like emergency room, right? Operations. Yep. You have to respond quickly. And that's something about us is that we're very keen in being very responsive to our clients' needs and their family as well. So, we're 24/7, so we get phone calls at 9 o'clock at night, which is okay. So that's being part of it, responsiveness, and not only responsiveness to the clients, to the children. I also see my employees as customers. So when an employee called in, needs something from the office, we respond right away. So everything that we do with the IT background is digital, it's electronic. They are required when they arrive at the client to clock in and clock out. And they have to be at the client's residence in order to do that. They can't be clocking in and out, miles away. Those are the kind of thing that assure that they are there, they made it in time, and then they're available for our clients. So that's the other thing. So we work very close with our employees. We have over 350 employees now.
Wow.
All employees, they're not contracts or they're not on 1099. So they're on a payroll. We have they're bonded and insured. We have background screening. So we make sure that their records are clean before we send them in. And then lastly, we also really focus on quality of care because our office staff have extensive experience. Altogether, we have like 150 years of healthcare experience, my office staff. Our director of nursing have critical care and organs transplant background, you never unheard of, right? Very, very rare. And administrator has mental health background. So we focus when we go out and send out someone out to the field to match them up with that client. Not only are we matching based on skill set, we also match on personality. We also match on language as well. So that's the other thing that's unique about us.
Let's talk about the languages that your team
all the
speaks.
languages, yes. We have requests for Tagalog, which is Filipino. We have requests for Arabic. We have a request for Russians, Polish, and stuff like that. So,
wow, that's super unique. Yeah, I love it.
So it's very exciting because we really try to spend our time to match in all three areas. And long-term care, you go into somebody's home first, they have to like you and trust you. So they'll welcome you back, and it's mutual. It goes both ways. Some caregiver employees, when we send out, they don't think it's the right case for them, and we have enough staff to find someone else who's a better match. And that's the idea, is matching for the long haul.
Absolutely, because they need that consistency. People that are receiving care, they, like you said, trust is a huge thing, and it takes time to build that trust.
Yes, yeah.
So
consistency.
I do have a question that's kind of off the topic. Do you know what you call a sad coffee?
No, I don't.
A depresso.
That's fun. A depresso. Who would have thought?
I wanted to be a comedian, and that's
You're
okay.
very good at it.
I'm happy with life, so I'm good. So I want to go through a couple of the things, just recognizing you. You've been involved with not only, and I have to look down just so I can read these, ladies and gentlemen, but you've been involved with not only the Home Care Association, but the Florida Council on Aging as its Board of Trustee. On top of that, you've been recently nominated to be the Governor's Advisory Council to the Department of Elder Affairs and 2019 Businesswoman of the Year. After all that, where do you see the challenges facing the home care industry today and in the future? And how do you think that it'll affect seniors receiving care as they age in place?
That's a very good question. So we're in the service industry, so we depend a lot on workers and the right workers.
Right.
So one of the things that I'm advocating for is living wages for our caregivers. So without jeopardizing the quality. So that's important. That's the other piece that's important to me. So they have to earn enough to make a living, basically, right? To live.
Exactly.
Have enough for shelter and food, and then other things like car payments, like we all
Insurance.
need these things, right? So that's the other thing that I'm working on to advocate for this group. There's been a lot of words around shortages. Part of it is because unemployment rate is low right now, so we're competing against other industries. But we have been able to, as Assisting Hands Home Care, been able to find these folks and then keep them on. So that's so important that we have enough workers when we have clients come in, and part of the business, the challenge of the business is you don't know when that client's going to call and need you and for how many hours or when, right? It could be night, it could be weekend, it could be early in the morning. So these folks have to be readily available too. So that's important to me, living wages for these employees. The other thing, the challenge on the client side is there have been a lot of articles written and been published around income, and also if they can't afford long-term care.
Absolutely.
So can I give you an idea? An average couple have enough saving to last about 2.5 years for long-term care. Okay. So that's not a lot. Especially now, you have President Carter, who is in his 90s, and his wife is in his 90s. So people are living longer.
They are, definitely.
10 years longer now. So lifespan just jumped by 10 years. And my oldest client is 103.
Wow.
Yeah. And my oldest caregiver is 83, who's taking care of a 97 years old, client, which is, so you kind of have to look at the changing aspect around workforce as well, and then also the client's needs and care. So now when you have a couple who both need long-term care, so they have enough savings probably for one. So now you have a couple, and that second spouse is now needing long-term care as well. Where are they going to pull those resources from?
Exactly.
So we been visiting, Congress, Capitol Hill. I've been up there, multiple times, once a year at least. And I'm advocating for our senior for these programs.
Absolutely.
We just don't have enough funds
There's
for the
not
entire
enough resources.
No, and we have about 5.4 million seniors living in Florida. That's a lot of seniors, and people are still retiring down here. They love it down here, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because I love this area too. So
I know I just saw a statistic, and it wasn't, and I can't remember the exact number, but it was it was shocking how many people every day are moving to Florida. And that's including more than just seniors, but it's like the adult children age that are going to grow into that. So it's what the topics that you've brought up are so relevant in what's going to happen in the next, let's say, 10 years.
We'll see how all that's changing, but you will start seeing changes. The other thing is, 6 years ago I was on NPR, and we talked a little bit about, because with my background in healthcare insurance, I was an executive at Anthem. And part of it, the question was posed to me was, what do you think the insurance role is in this? And my point being on that radio show was, I said that the insurance have to eventually going to get caught up. So sure enough, Medicare Advantage, CMS already approved long-term care, Medicare Advantage. The question is that, are these private insurance companies ready to roll out and add these benefits until they reach a point where they see value? And I think there's opportunity here. I mean, one of my responsibilities is to show value to these insurance companies based on my background, So that's the other thing, is that insurance, employer, and then the member, the recipients have to be all. It's a triangle. Everybody have to pitch in.
And I've talked to several, I guess you could call them Medicaid planners or insurance brokers, and they talk about these hybrid insurance policies that are kind of becoming, they've been around, but they're becoming more popular. And so it just kind of triggered a thought in my head where it's, you're purchasing, let's say, $100,000 policy, and when you need, there's riders on these hybrid policies. So instead of long-term care insurance, it's when you need this policy for care, it actually triples in value. So it adds from 100 to 300. So I think there's some things in the works that are going to be, coming out hopefully again for the next generations to come to kind of resolve these.
We have to be creative, right? I mean, we're a society. America's a society of innovation. We're always going to eventually come up with something new and different that would work for the current environment population. I'm hoping that we move closer for our senior populations, because we are very far behind. For Florida compared to other states, we're close to the bottom of the list as far as having resources for senior. So that's something that we all have to work on together.
We all have to fight together for the greater cause.
That's right.
I should have worn like a superhero costume. Darn it, I've got about 12
Coffee
costumes
works
at
too.
home.
Coffee works too.
People, there's even like coffee stains on the cup. Just want to say, I didn't do them this time. It was actually made like this. But anyways, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you, Alate, for being here today. And we appreciate all your feedback and, of course, all the services that you provide, to
You're
your
welcome.
clients.
Our pleasure.
Is there any last words that you want to leave viewers with as we close out?
Well, I think, again, I'm advocating for seniors, and there's any opportunity that if you see a senior having a hard time who lives in your neighborhood, go over there, knock on the door, check up on them, to see how they're doing, stuff like that. And if you're going out grocery shopping, ask them if there's something that you can pick up for them. So that's where we are. We're here as a business. We focus on that. But I also want that it does take a community to help these folks out. So thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for dressing up. If you want to we could take one more bow, like one more full shot of our
full
costumes.
shot, okay.
Just don't take your sword and stab me or anything like that. Again, thanks everybody for for coming here today and joining us at Assisting Hands. Feel free to reach out to Alexis. I'll put your contact information in the post. But she's such a super savvy business owner, and they're doing great things here. So make sure you reach out and get to know them better. And we hope everybody has a wonderful and safe day out there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.